With the release of Season 12, everyone has been confused about how ship damage works, especially with the new Scattershot. Let's unpack how damage actually works now and find some more helpful terminology to use for everybody. The community commonly understands that there are 3 tiers of damage. There's Chainshot or ram damage, understood as Tier 1, and leaks water into the ship at an extremely slow pace. Cannonball damage, understood as Tier 2, and leaks water into the ship at a moderate pace. And if you follow up with another cannonball at the same hole, this is understood as Tier 3 and leaks water into the ship at a rapid pace. However, this previous understanding is both incomplete and misleading. For example, a Tier 3 is significantly faster than simply 3 times a Tier 1 hole. And have you ever found yourself wondering why a hole doesn't quite feel like a Tier 1, nor a Tier 2? What if I told you that there's a Tier 2.5 hole, and there's a Tier 1.5 hole? My first odd finding was that it takes 3 Chainshots or 3 Scattershot pieces to match a regular Cannonball's Tier 2 damage. You heard correctly. It takes 3 so-called Tier 1 hits to add up to Tier 2 damage. So let's back up, because the math on that gets weird. Let's completely rework how we talk about ship damage. After a lot of testing, I found that 5 Chainshots or 5 individual Scattershot hits will max out damage to a specific area of the ship. So let's call this a 100% damaged hole. So if we use some simple math, we can say that Chains and Scattershot do 20% damage on each hit. Now that we know that 3 of these is equivalent to 1 cannonball, we can simply say that a cannonball does 60% damage. What I find neat is that you can visually discern each 20% damage increment. They all then take water at different rates and take different amounts of time to repair. Right now, Scattershot hits have a damage cap of only 40% per hole, meaning you can blast a ship endlessly with Scattershot and not actually cause a ton of water intake. I believe this is a bug though, because the release notes specifically state that repeated hits should increase damage, but it's what we have to work with right now. However, something very interesting happens with closer shots. If you absolutely stuff a cannon barrel into the side of a ship and fire a Scattershot, it does only 20% total damage. Not 4 times 20%, acting as if only a single piece hit that location instead of all 4. Basically, if the pieces hit the same hole at once, they don't stack in that exact moment. However, when multiple pieces hit the same spot, they bypass the 40% damage limit that normally applies to Scattershot. This is why sometimes it can be a little bit more effective, but usually isn't. Scattershot still needs more investigation though, so if you want to learn more about it, hit that subscribe button. The next video will be a deep dive on Scattershot. The goal here was to change how we talk about damage to be more accurate to the damage state and the water intake rate. So if you're going to go repair a 100% damage hole, you're going to rep a hundo. If it's a single cannonball hit, you're going to fix a 6, because it's 60%. And if you're going to go rip a little hole, no, stop it. Go focus on something else instead. It's not worth it. If you're a charts and data kind of person, here you go. These were all measured as precisely as possible, which, trust me, is a huge pain in the arse, but I was surprised to learn how linear it all is, given that the old tier language made it feel otherwise. A lot of work went into this video, between all the different measurements at specific locations because waves exist, and the building realization of how ship damage actually works, and recording all the clips. Big shout out to both my wife Dragon Skuga and my friend Thaxos, who were both instrumental in getting all this footage and data. If you want more sea science, hit that like button so that I know you like it. If you want to see some solo shenanigans and thievery live, I also stream consistently on Twitch. But happy sailing, folks. Go damage some ships. You now have a galleon's worth of Scattershot in you. How do you feel?
I mean, I could probably recover from this.
Yeah, this isn't good. Like, this is annoying to repair, but this isn't like, this is far from the point of no return even when I'm solo. Far from the point of no return as a solo. Okay, let's try some more.